What are the 4 pillars to your real estate business? That's a good question. I'm Jerry Green. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you would, subscribe here below. Also like this video, and I hope you're getting some value out of this here today. Let's talk about this a little bit more. So what's interesting in this real estate investment business, what I've learned as people get into this and they start thinking, okay, I should say I see this a lot from a lot of gurus out there that are doing a lot of teaching in this space. And what they do is they go out there and they say, oh, hey, we can teach you how to make, $200,000 next year in the business. They're starting up, let's say somebody newer in the business. We can show you how to make $200,000. Everybody's like, yeah, I'm excited about that. And then they show them a few strategies. Okay, maybe wholesaling, maybe doing some fix and flipping, or maybe some lease options or something like that. And everybody's really pumped about that. Okay, they're pumped about it, and then they understand the strategy, but what they don't understand is truly how to get to that goal, because that's ultimately what they're looking at is, can I create and make a goal out of this, let's say to make that $200,000. Well, they don't understand the path, how to get there. They should say the roadmap. So what I learned over the years is that you got to have that roadmap, and you got to understand what moves you need to make along that roadmap to be able to reach your end result. To basically reach your destination, I got to understand how to get there. And just think about it. I mean, if you're driving somewhere, okay, and just imagine you don't have your Google Maps or anything like that available, then you're going to have to rely to an old map, paper map or something like it. But what if we take that away too? Then you're in the position where you're trying to drive from one location to another location, okay? And I can tell you from personal experience, and anybody who's been around me knows too, that I have a hard enough time with Google Maps, let alone, being in a position where I have no maps whatsoever at all. And I'm just bad about that. I would get lost. Well, that's what a lot of people do, is they get lost. They get lost in their journey here and get pulled all these different directions, and they have no idea how to get to that target that they're shooting for. So what I learned is really 4 main things that we got to look at when we're setting this up. And it's really, I call like the 4 pillars to this real estate investment business. Okay. Number 1 I look at is we have to start off with a true measurable financial goal within the business. So if let's say that's $200,000. If it's $200,000 that you want to make over the next 12 months in this business, that's the first thing I look at. So number 1 is a true, measurable, specific goal when it comes to that. Okay, so that's number 1. All right. Number 2 that I look at on things that's extremely important too is, okay, we have the goal, like I said, just like a lot of the gurus talk about, but now we start to get into how do we create the path to reach that. So how do we create that path? We have to go in and reverse engineer that. We start looking at, okay, what is it really going to take to get from here to here? What are the things we need to do? Okay. How many deals do we need to complete? What's our average profit margins on those? Okay, all these things are going to make a big difference, and it's going into what we call reverse engineering. Okay, so the second thing is really reverse engineering, to know what our numbers are to be able to obtain that goal, which was number 1. Okay, so extremely important when you start tying this all together. So number 3, you have to understand is what I call basically your accountability side of the business. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is understanding all your moving parts. So for instance, a typical wholesaler in this business is going to have some marketing going on. You're going to have acquisitions going on. You're going to have lead intake going on. You're going to have somebody dealing with title companies. You're going to have some type of transaction coordinating going on. You're going to turn around and have somebody involved in selling the properties to investors, what we call dispositions. And then we're going to have somebody also like doing the bookkeeping and all that stuff. See, you guys forget about all these things. All these things are important. It's all the different boxes within your business. You got to start understanding that. Even if you are doing it all just in the beginning, that's okay. But you got to lay each one out and get clarity on that. Who owns the box? Like I say, it might be you. It might be you. But the thing is, it's going to cap you out very quickly on things. But if you're wanting to try to achieve that goal and go and follow this roadmap, who is going to be doing all those moving parts? You have to get clarity on that. And like I said, it might be you in the beginning, or it might be you and a virtual assistant you bring on, or possibly a spouse or somebody like that. Okay, so get that clarity when it comes to the accountability side of things. Who's going to be handling that? And then number 4 I look at is you've got to have some tracking in place. Okay, you got to have some number tracking. You got to have those KPIs, those key performance indicators to know. This allows you to know if you're actually on track or if you're off track. And if you're not doing that on a regular basis, okay, it's really going to cause havoc for you, because what you're going to do is you're going to go out and do like I did when I first started. For many years, I was just going out there and I was like, oh, I'll do a deal here, I'll do a deal here. I had no real focus on things. What I was doing, guys, is I was just in the game of real estate, which is okay on things, but it can never become a business that way. Because then you're just in the game of real estate, and when you're in the game of real estate, guess what? You're always going to be a player in that game. You'll never be released from it. It'll be a constant grind on you, even if you're doing it for 50 years. It will never, never, never stop on things. I know personally on that because I've done it for so many years that way. And before I would got to the time where I would actually realize that this is a business and I need to put these, these 4 pillars in place. So guys, I hope this helps you some here in understanding the importance of this. Do me a favor if you would. If this has created some value for you, number 1, like it. Number 2, subscribe to my channel here, guys, and share it as well too. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you in the next one.